Hey guys, it's SB2Boys10 here, back with a new video. Now, today I wouldn't just talk to you guys about something that's been going on in the world all the time, and something that's been happening on YouTube a couple times that I've seen, and that is the lack of forgiveness. Now, recently, Jenna Marbles, someone that's been on YouTube for 10 years, maybe even longer than that, recently quit YouTube or took a long break from YouTube because she was constantly getting harassed and bullied and mentioned for the things bad jokes she did in the past. Now, yes, she may have done bad jokes in the past, but however, that was 10 years ago. And she's never been in a controversy, she's never been in a drama since. And the fact that her past continuously gets brought up for no reason whatsoever. Like, if she did a controversy or did something wrong, like if she did another bad joke nowadays, it would be reasonable to bring up the past, but she literally did nothing. And people constantly bashed her for something like that, and she felt the need to apologize again and take a break from YouTube. Which, considering somebody that is very passionate about the job for over 10 years and makes content, wholesome, great content. I've never watched her content personally, I just know it's wholesome, great content. And considering she had to stray away from that because of something she regrets doing, is not good whatsoever. We should have learned to forgive her for her mistakes and not constantly bring it up. Liza Koshy is another YouTuber who did the same thing. There may be talk on the internet whether she's funny or not, whether her jokes are bad or things like that, but she frankly needed to apologize for her past really bad jokes. And, like Jenna Marbles did. And again, Liza Koshy didn't do anything controversial or bad. There's a couple other YouTubers that are getting called out for things, but it's kind of skeptical whether they deserve it or not because their behavior kind of matches their behavior back in the day, and it's like just based on their attitude and what they've said, they seem like the type of person that would continue doing what they've done. So it's kind of hard to forgive them, but even so, like, if you forgive them, that's fine too. And it's not just around YouTube, it's around the world too. There is a couple people that I know, friends, family, random strangers, viewers too. Everybody always never forgives themselves for their mistakes. Me, I sometimes do it as well, but there's a bunch of people nowadays that never forgive their mistakes or other people's mistakes. Now, if the person continuously acts out and continuously shows that they're a bad person, then yes, you don't need to forgive them. However, if they've just done it once and they've never done it again, like, you could give them a second chance, to be honest, and that goes for yourself as well. You need to give yourself a second chance. Give yourself forgiveness, because everybody in the world will make a mistake. If you never made a mistake, then you're not human. Everybody in the world has made a mistake, whether they go to the grocery store and come back home and realize that they forgot something, or buy a game only the next day it goes on sale. Like, mistakes happen. And you may not, some people may not realize they've made a mistake until people call them out for it, and some people may immediately know that they've made a mistake. But you just have to learn to forgive yourself. As long as you don't do it again and improve and learn based on your mistakes, you shouldn't constantly bring up the past and make yourself constantly sad and beat yourself up over something that you can't control anymore. It already happened. Regret and nostalgia are a dangerous combo. You just gotta accept your choices and move forward. Learn from what you've done, learn from what other people have done, and try to be a better person every single day. I myself don't think of myself as a good person, nor do I think of myself as a really bad person. I think I'm like in the center. and I'm trying to become better every single day, and that's because I see my mistakes and try to improve on it every day. I always see my mistakes. I know I'm not perfect. Perfection is impossible. You can't find anything in the world that is perfect. No person is perfect, no video game is perfect, no movie is perfect. As much as some people might say movies or things are perfect, nothing is. There may be, in a movie that's like highly critically acclaimed, that's like the best movie in the world, there could be like a background character in the back that just does something weird. Or does something like not normal. So like nothing is perfect. And neither are you. You just have to give yourself more chances to be better. Because if you're the type of person that never learns from your mistakes, keeps doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, then yeah, maybe you shouldn't forgive yourself. Maybe you should get help for whatever it is that you keep making mistakes for. Maybe you should rethink your mentality and try to work in ways to improve it. But if you just make a mistake once, it's not the end of the world. The whole entire world nowadays in 2020 has been crazy ever since January. First there was a virus, then riots are happening, people are getting canceled, Me Too movements are happening, Mixer shut down, Twitch is getting in trouble. Huge games came out. PlayStation 5 got announced. Like, a bunch of things are happening this year, both good and bad. But despite the fact that a lot of things are going wrong in the world, you should never forget you. You should never forget your importance. Yes, the virus thing is important. Yes, the Black Lives Matter thing is important. However, that doesn't mean that you yourself are unimportant. You should always take care of yourself no matter what is happening in the world. No matter what is happening to your life, you should still find the best way to take care of yourself. Because you yourself matter, and forgiving yourself is one of those things. Constantly beating yourself up over and over and over and over and over again will never make you happy, will never help you improve, will never help you be a better person, be the person that you want to be, will never let other people forgive you. In order for people to forgive you, you have to forgive yourself and be better, essentially. Now, in some cases it's hard not to make a mistake, and that's fine. Sometimes you can't help it. But you can help how much the mistakes influence your life. Whether it's to distract yourself, or to think about the good things that you've done, or to think, hey, nobody is blaming me, nobody is bashing me, nobody thinks it's my fault but myself. And when you have that mentality, you start to realize, do I really deserve this? And 90% of the time, you may not deserve it. You have to constantly think, if everybody else forgives me, if everybody else moved on, why can't I? And I understand that that mentality is really hard to comprehend, like, why can't I move on? Why can't I let this go? Now, sometimes feeling a little guilty, feeling a little regret, thinking about something that you've done in the past, that can happen. I myself have been fault to that. There have been times where I've been really happy, and then like suddenly a dark time came up and my mood immediately changed. It happens, you can't control it, but you shouldn't let it ruin your day. Because at the end of the day, like I said, the past is the past. You have to move on from it. Because if you keep staying in the past, you'll never see what's happening in the present. And I just want everybody to know that everybody in the world deserves a second chance, unless what they did is like super bad, like killed somebody. um, on purpose, or did something really like illegal to somebody, then second chances may be less lenient. But if you just make a little mistake, you definitely deserve a second chance for it. If you fight with a friend and they may not forgive you right away, you need to learn to forgive yourself and be better so that they can see the good parts of you and maybe come back to you. It's all about your perception of yourself, how you will benefit from the future. Because if you constantly beat yourself up over the past, you will never get anything successful or good in your life, because you're just down deep in this hole that you dug yourself. And the thing is, you can dig yourself so far in a hole, but eventually you can't dig yourself anymore. And then at that point, the only place left to go is up. And that's what you need to do every day. The world won't wait for you to forgive yourself. The world will just keep going on, and it will keep piling things onto you more and more and more and more and more, the more you focus on one specific thing. One specific thing that already happened. Like if you, how can I say, like, a pretty good example? Like, if you, one of my examples before, if you buy a game and the next day it goes on sale, you start beating yourself up and start thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't buy any games anymore. Maybe I should just wait till they all go on sale. But then, like, they never go on sale, so you never get that game. Or never get that new game that you want. It's kind of a weird analogy, but considering I'm a gaming channel, it kind of works. It's kind of like that. You shouldn't constantly stay in the past because, like, maybe you might have an opportunity for something great in the right now, in the present, or in the future. Like, you can have a college application, but you completely ignore it because you're focused on, I don't know, something else entirely. You could win the lottery, but you're too focused on, I don't know. It's I'm not the best with analogies at the moment. But it's kind of like you going to the store, someone is like, hey, you want to buy this scratch-off card? And you're like, I don't really want to spend any money, but sure. And then you get it, and then you lose. And you start beating yourself up over the fact that you spent money. And then the next person comes in, and then they get a scratch-off, and then they win $500. And then you're like, ah, shoot, I should have went back in and got another one. That type of thing is kind of what'll happen all the time. You beat yourself up about one thing, and then you constantly beat yourself up that another thing will come in, and you'll beat yourself up about that, and eventually you'll get in this ball of self-doubt, self-deprecation, that it'll just keep going more and more and more like a black hole. You have to realize, whatever, life happens, make a mistake, let's move on. I'm not making the best analogies right now, but I hope you get my point. The point is that you should learn to forgive yourself. And I'm not saying this to anyone in particular. I did talk to a couple viewers and a couple friends that I know watch my content, that I've talked to them about their mistakes and learning from them. But this isn't directed towards them. This is just directed towards anyone in general, because I recently saw Jenna Marbles' event happen, and I saw a lot of people not forgive other people. Like, every single month there's someone that gets canceled, which is crazy. But that's all for this video. I just wanted to talk to you guys about something that I've seen, and I want to help any of you as best I can with how you're feeling about toward yourself. And I hope this helped in some way. And thank you everybody for watching. If today's your birthday, happy birthday. If you sneezed during the video, bless you. If you had a bad day, I truly hope this helped you cheer you up in some way. And yeah, see you tomorrow.